The goal Diogo Jota scored against Everton, yeah. I used to play like that, like in my playing days. A very, very prolific finisher, very calm, steez, too much, Charlie, too much composure in the box. Oh, Charlie, what a goal. Nah, I know you guys said.
I'll say something before you go.
What do you want to say?
As a journalist, this is conflict of interest. How can you be reporting on yourself like this? You should find someone to come and give us an objective analysis.
No, I have to tell you because you've not seen me.
This is violating the ethics of the profession.
No, you've not seen me play. I have to tell you.
Yeah, violating the ethics of the profession.
Well, so talk to me about that goal quick. I have not heard from you. Y'all and I were ready.
But the viewers have also not heard from you. But look, it was a great goal. I think it was a surprise because his form has been quite poor. He's not scored in a while. People are wondering, has the fire run out of him? But look, great goal from him. Great result because Merseyside derbies are not easy. And like Yao said, Everton had some counter-attacking opportunities, but their final decision, their final ball just wasn't there. So they couldn't make the most of it. And look at even Beto's chance, A top striker puts that away, usually. That's the difference, That was the difference on the day. Yeah. So I think Liverpool, their form has collapsed a bit. They are not, compared to the first half of the season, where it's like everything they touch tend to go. They were just storming through games. It looks like they're a bit tired. It looks like they are not as...
And I like the fact that you brought that up. I was listening to a podcast early today, and they were talking, the 1-0 win against Everton was their first in 2 years at Anfield that they've played an opponent and just won 1-0. It's either 2-0, 3-0. Like, they're brushing teams apart. Like, they are very dominant. But this side, like I said, you can actually see, I don't know if it's the cracks in the team have begun to show.
No, I think it was definitely going to happen when you start that well. You're in a lot of competitions, you're flying. Fatigue will come in. But luckily for them, I think the teams behind them, Arsenal especially, we expected a lot more, but the injuries wouldn't help. I mean, they were quite far behind before the injuries anyway, but with the injuries, there's no chance of you taking advantage of Liverpool's dropping form. Okay. Nottingham Forest were never going to be title contenders. Man City are having a season to forget. You go down the table, the type of team that you thought that, okay, Chelsea, United, Spurs, who might, have done something. Yeah. Even, United and Spurs, the less said about them, the better, of course. But so it's like everything is good for Liverpool. They're in the right position, but they still played very well in the first half of the season. I think the first half of the season was probably one of the best halves of the season we've seen in English football because, look, they lost one match, drew maybe one match as well. Like, they were flying. So, for me, they deserve it based on the first half of the season alone because they gave themselves a solid lead. They put themselves in a good position and they've just been able to go into cruise control and they're going to win the title. So, for me, that's very fair. But their drop in performance...
Fulham.
Their drop in performance is concerning. And the last time they played Fulham were desperately unlucky not to win, in my opinion. I think Fulham could have done a lot more to get the results, but I think they panicked a bit because you're at Anfield, there's a red card, you've taken a lead. You think to yourself, whoa, like, I can't believe we are here, Like, they felt like they were in Wonderland.
Yeah, he ended 2-0, right?
Yeah, he ended 2-0. I can't remember they took the lead.
It will be, and what's his name, the other chap, just wasting chances.
Yeah, I think the occasion got to them, but I believe that Liverpool will probably get the result here. I think Fulham's form is dipping a bit. I think their confidence is a bit down. Yeah. I think the FA Cup result didn't help because I believe Fulham were thinking to themselves, this is our chance. I don't believe they've gone very far in the FA Cup in their history. So this was the opportunity to do something big. And they squandered it very badly because they had the momentum against Aston Villa to start and then against Crystal Palace, to start. And then Palace suddenly just hit them with a sucker punch and they never recovered. And they go into a game against Arsenal. Again, you can see the chances. That's sometimes where the quality comes in. I think on another day, they draw that game because Rodrigo Muniz, the chance he misses, the first chance he missed was very bad.
The header.
Eventually, he got the goal. But if he had scored that goal earlier, and with the injury to Gabriel, you think that maybe they could have put more pressure on Arsenal and maybe they could have sneaked a result. So for me, Fulham are not a bad team at all. I think their confidence is a bit low. But when you look at Liverpool, are also a bit on the down. Luckily, the derby win will raise their confidence because they were very demoralized after the 2-2 the last time out because they felt that we should have won that game. We let Everton stay in the game for too long and they punished us. So I think Liverpool have a bit more momentum going into the game for sure, but they're not the dominant team they once were. So I still expect them to win, but it's not going to be like, 3-0, 4-0. They're just going to blow Fulham away. They are going to have to fight for the win, but I think they'll get the win.
Okay, let's take our first break here. When we come back, I'll get some thoughts from you, Jamie.
Yeah, am I wrong in saying there's some inconsistencies?
No, I'm not saying
story?
there's some inconsistencies.
Oh, but you can play like Iniesta in the
yeah, I mean,
I don't believe. I don't believe.
You can play.
You don't believe? I'll bring you clips.
Okay.
The next time I'll bring you clips so that we should just
I'm waiting.
accept of it before we start the show.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah. We'll be
I'm
talking
a trained
about
fact checker. So
we'll be talking about KDB in a bit. Yeah, we were talking about Liverpool's game against Fulham.
Yeah.
Just quick thoughts, and then we'll talk about the derby coming up.
I'll make it quick. Liverpool to win. I mean, I don't see Fulham giving them major troubles because of how demoralizing their week has been. The past week has been. That loss to Crystal Palace, you could tell that it had a knock-on effect.
Especially at home.
At home.
Yeah.
You could tell that it had a knock-on effect with their performance, particularly in that first half against Arsenal. They were quite flat. They didn't offer much. And honestly, Arsenal should have punished them and scored more goals in that first half of that game. And on top of that, they still went ahead and they also lost to Arsenal. So coming up against a Liverpool side buoyed by they beating Everton to get that derby win over them and halt what had been a poor run in the lead up to that game. Yeah, I don't see Fulham beating Liverpool. So yeah, Liverpool for the win.
Liverpool to win for you.
Yeah.
Sisu, Liverpool to win?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, they'll struggle. It won't be an easy win, but I think they'll win.
Okay, so that's the thoughts of the guys. The game will be live on 97.3 Citi FM on Sunday. You cannot miss. Let's talk about the Manchester derby on that same day. First off,